All right, welcome to the Journal Star Sportswriters podcast and our weekly visit with the Rivermen. My sidekick, co-host, Rivermen head coach, Jean-Guy Trudel.
Bonjour, Dave.
Yeah, that too. And winger Jordan Ernst, fresh off a hat trick. And interesting weekend, coach, at Evansville. Couple of tough games, again, both past regulation.
Yeah, it was, just a weird weekend all the way around. I felt like we played really well in spurts. I thought the first period of the first game we played really well, and then second period. The first game reminded me a lot of last weekend we were there when we, same kind of thing in the shootout. We started pretty well, and then after that kind of took it a little easier in the second. The third, we, kind of revved the motors back up, and then got it all the way to a shootout, and we're just not a skilled team. I mean, we skill competitions are just not our forte. So we'll try to eliminate us going all the way to the shootout.
I did the math after I talked to you after Friday night's shootout loss. You were wondering what our record's not very good in shootouts, and
you send me those stats.
I couldn't let it go. I had to go back and look that up. So at 3:00 in the morning, and discovered you're 10-27.
Yeah,
in this league in shootouts.
Yeah, and you said, what are we, like 2-11 in our last 13 now?
Now you are. Yeah, you've lost 9 of the last 11 shootouts.
Yeah,
and
so
this from a team that wins games.
We just always had I don't know what it is, and that's why on Friday I try to go with Nevs as a first, because I remember the one time we won in I think it was in Pensacola, we never won, so I sent the defenseman first and we won that one, so I figured we'll try it again, see if that works out, and it didn't work out again, but it's okay for us. It's we got 2 points on the road against a very team that's pretty hot right now. It seems like everything Evansville touches right now going.
Yeah, they've won 6 in a row.
Yeah,
they're making a nice surge.
Even usually we're not really happy with first shot goals, and I think they had 3 that second game. So they're shooting the puck that's going in right now. So they're hot, and for us we got 2 points. We're happy. We're coming home, and 3 more games before the nice break. So we'll like I said, we'll try to step on it tomorrow morning. Especially it's going to be a different game tomorrow morning. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Blindfolded. Maybe send a guy blindfolded on the shootout.
We would try stuff like that. We have fun enough on the bench.
Backwards.
Maybe we'll try something
backwards.
Do Marty St. Louis?
Yeah.
Turn backwards. Yeah, we could try that too. We'll do it.
Why not?
Do. Yeah,
right?
Why not?
If you're going to go 0 for 5,
might as well have fun with it, right? Yeah, exactly.
Jordan, is there a lot of strategy or discussion on the bench during a shootout? What guys are going to try to do? Is there a book on the opposing goalie at this level, or do you just go out there and freewheel?
I think you get a little bit from everybody. I mean, Coach too was trying to help us too, see what the goalies' habits were and everything, and there's more thought that goes into it before you get out there than I think a lot of people would realize. So
I think the first shooter we talked about on the bench of really looking at him, and their goalie was doing certain things, was coming out hard, but he was really backing up quick. So we were trying to slow the pace down and get him deep, because he's not the biggest of goalies. So if he's deep, you have more angles. Because I think we missed the first 3 shots we missed the net, or 2 of the first 3 we missed the net, and then we started kind of
on the
first game. Yeah, so we started talking about slowing. Going fast, slowing down, so he backs up in his net, because he was coming out hard, and we had 2 or 3 breakaways in the game that guys try to go around him, and he's got fast pads, so you can't just deke and go around.
And that's Braden Ostapchuk, who
correct
you had here.
Yeah, I had in training camp. Yeah, correct. So, but the guys that I thought we did well the second game. We got the shots that we needed, just couldn't bury. I mean, when a goalie's that hot and in a shootout, you just gotta, I usually say posting in is always the go in. The go-to, and we just couldn't hit our spots. But that's okay. Like I said, I was a lot happier with our second game than I was with the first. I felt like the second game, even sometimes if we'd make mistakes, I love when we have life. I love when guys are engaged emotionally and physically, and I thought we were. So for me, it is what it is. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but we still got our 2 points on the road.
Got a hat trick in that second game, Mr. Ernst, and you were saying your first pro hat trick.
Yes.
So what? Just fall into place for you in that game, or what was happening?
Yeah, I think the puck was just helping me out find the back of the net for once. So it was nice to get it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You brought a clip today that we're going to look at in our quick shift segment later on. of his second goal, the middle goal
Yeah,
that he scored.
I think Ernie is always. We talk about it all the time on the bench. When he moves his feet, he's like a bull. He's hard to move, and he's got a phenomenal shot. And for me, it's every day trying to get on Ernie about moving his feet and shooting the puck. And I think last year, I always say, every year tells kind of a story. I think last year he won the year, and I'm sure he lost a little confidence in himself when you don't play a lot. He played 50-some games, but I don't think he had enough ice time to actually build that confidence and at that level. So coming back, it's my job is to make sure every day I'm on him, because he has to understand that here at this level, he's a go-to guy, and I want him to be out there, and I want him to want the puck, and I want him to shoot the puck because he's got a heavy shot. So I think that game he did that. I think he wasn't too happy with his Friday game. He came back Saturday with a vengeance, and he was shooting the puck a lot more, and he wanted it. And that's when you have success. I always say hockey gods are. I still think they're around, and I think a guy that wants the puck and. Yeah, there's games that you're like, okay, give me the puck, I got it. And then the puck goes in for some reason. It's when you oh no, don't pass it to me, the puck jumps over your stick. Stuff like that. Right. But when you're confident, you have the puck, and guys like Ernie and scores, if you score one early enough, usually the game goes really well after you gain that confidence. You want the puck, and with his shot, it's a rocket. So I encourage him to shoot as much as he can.
You said he's a go-to guy now more than ever.
Yeah, and we'll
talk about that a little later today.
Yep.
But you're a Mokina, Illinois guy, and we think that's kind of up east of the Joliet area around there.
Yeah, a little bit east of it. Yeah.
Born and raised there?
Yes.
And you said you played as a little kid down here in Peoria.
Yeah, my Bantam year. I was playing for the Orland Park Vikings.
Orland Park Vikings.
Yeah.
Okay. So
played at the Civic Center.
At the Civic Center or Owens Center?
Or Owens Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same ice we practice on.
So you've got some experience there.
I got some goals.
How did you connect with Coach Trudel and wind up in Peoria?
Yeah, I reached out to Hammy. And I just asked him how the team was looking and stuff, because I know he enjoyed it here. And then next thing you know, he said the coach wants to call me. So I was on the phone with Guy and had a little conversation, and then got back to him the next day.
And boom.
Yeah.
You got a heck of a player.
Yeah, and that's, I always say usually your players are your best recruiters. If you do things the right way, they help you a lot along the way. And I was really happy, because at the time we had a few guys that were supposed to be here, if you remember correctly, didn't come to camp. So I had some available spots and some available cap room. And when Jordan became available, because he wasn't sure what he was going to do this year, he was thinking of going in a different field. So when he became available, I jumped on the chance, and I felt like we had a good conversation. And for me, I told him the same thing I tell everybody: as long as you're 100% in. And he came in with a phenomenal attitude, and he still has. He's just here loving the game every single day, and that's what we want here in the locker room.
And I hear there's a certain way that he likes to have his goals called by our play-by-play voice. But, I don't want to say.
Hasn't been called that way.
Unless Jordan,
he's afraid to do it.
Unless Jordan would like to put that out there now, we can.
I don't even know the story, so you're catching me by surprise.
You want me to tell him?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
it's clean.
Yeah. Oh, it's very clean.
Yeah.
When I score, it's just let the big dog eat.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to let the big dog eat, and that's what I tell my players too. If the D's cranked up, let the big dog eat. They're hungry.
Yeah.
Feed them when the boys are hungry. So I love it.
Now we got to get Andrew Mossbrooks to get on board.
He's afraid of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He's a little shy.
Yeah.
He's a Philly
shy
boy.
kid.
Yeah,
well,
Philly
it's
boy.
a Flyers fan, so he's been abused his whole life.
Yep.
So you played at Kansas City last year, and 50-plus games, I believe.
Yes.
Right? What was that experience like for you? You've seen that level.
Yeah. I think a lot of the year, too, like you mentioned, too, it was a confidence struggle for me. Just trying to find my footing in pro hockey. But at the same time, too, I see what it takes, what you need to bring to the table every day and how you're going to be successful at the next level.
And you come down here this year, and Peoria has a winning tradition, and there's certain expectations for guys who play here.
Right. Yeah, and I think like everybody says too, everything happens for a reason. I couldn't be happier where I felt and ended up this year. Like Guy's been nothing but amazing to me and helped me get my confidence back, and now I feel like my game's going in the right direction again.
Growing up there in Mokina, I assume Blackhawks fan?
Oh yeah, even when nobody was in the stands.
Really?
Oh,
You were that guy.
Yeah,
Diehard.
my dad would come home and say, "You guys want to go to the game tonight?" And we'd hop out, and jump in the car, and there would be nobody there.
What people don't remember is when I played for the Wolves, we had bigger crowds than the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
We
No,
would
that's
get
true.
9,000 to 10,000. The Hawks would get 6, 5,
And
6,
that's
7,000.
where some of that,
Yeah.
those two organizations don't have a lot of love for each other, and that's because at the AHL level, the Wolves had the upper hand in that market for a while.
For a little bit, and then now the Hawks are just striving. Now it's a beautiful thing to watch when you go watch them play. And
not a couple days ago.
well, not the way they play, but the crowd and the national anthem. I think they do a phenomenal job on game day operation. It's just a blast being there.
Fantastic for sure.
job. So it's a lot of fun to go there. I go once a year, and I love every second. But in those days, you're right, man.
You could shoot a cannon.
You could, yes.
I think Pat Foley said it on one of their videos. Like, you could literally shoot a cannon that, and you probably wouldn't hit anybody.
Yeah.
Pat Foley. Why can't they clear it? Love listening to him. You had a favorite player or two in those days? Did you ever meet any of those guys?
A few of them. I mean, I think my biggest one that sticks out is Eric Dazier.
Okay.
I forget where I met him, but I met him somewhere. Got a little picture with him.
No kidding.
Yeah, but that's the latest. Like, when it comes like that era, I think Eric Dazier for me.
Now,
Big number 55.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
big
no
boy.
I played
Real
against him
big.
3 years in Major Junior. He was long. He was
Yeah.
very long.
brothers, sisters,
Yeah, 2 brothers.
and what are they doing?
My oldest brother is in the Army.
His name?
Nick.
Nick?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's been in for 3 years now. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then my middle brother Brett, he just took a job. He was in the FBI now, so he just moved out to West Virginia this year.
An FBI guy.
Yeah.
Those are two pretty cool gigs.
Very.
What are you going to do after your hockey career ends?
You know, I had thoughts of going in the military, kind of keep the family tradition, but I think right now I'm thinking either between police officer or fighter. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Oh, you're a brave guy. Those are not easy gigs now in this day and age.
No, especially in cities like Chicago, big
Yeah.
cities. It's
It's pretty tough.
I think it keeps you on your toes. It's a kind of job that would be fun. The
Yeah.
kind of every day. It's not just robotic. You're going there not understanding what's coming, and
it's a challenge.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So we need all of them. It's pretty cool what his 2 brothers are doing, and that's why I think he was looking when I called him this summer. He was looking at a policeman. You wanted to get in there, and
That's what you were considering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing that? What, did either of them play hockey?
Yeah, they both did actually. Yep.
How far up the system did they make?
My oldest brother Nick, he played at Robert Morris in Chicago, ACHA. And then my middle one, he just stopped after high school. But we played together in high school, actually, so it was pretty cool. We got to share that
So
together.
growing up as kids, I don't know how much older is Nick than you?
Nick is not a numbers guy.
Nick's older.
Born in 92, so 5 years.
Okay. So you guys probably banged around the yard together a little bit.
Oh, we got grounded quite a bit. Brawls after brawls.
Wow. Playing hockey or just goofing off?
It didn't matter what it was. We all 3 of us were pretty competitive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it always hockey for you, or was it other things?
The main portion of it was, but we all kind of bounced around basketball, baseball, whatever it was. But I was actually a big fisher. That was my thing.
Fishing?
Yeah, just to get away from everything. I could go fish down at the pond for hours.
You have one by your house?
Yeah, it's right down the street from my house.
What's in it?
Catfish, bass, every type, little
panfish,
anything,
Yeah,
like you name
crappie.
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you went off on a fishing vacation, where would you go, and what would you be looking to fish for?
Be coming with me, right?
Yeah.
Back home at my dad's in Canada.
Yeah,
Yes,
we did talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Oh,
up there?
walleye.
Walleye?
Yeah. Well, there's some good trout, but I love this. To me, walleye is by far the best fish to eat, and there's so much back home, and you catch good sized ones, and it's a lot of fun because it's not just like, when I fish in the U.S., I kind of find it boring. I really do.
Come on.
I just do, man.
The fish doesn't know what country
Well,
it's in.
I don't. I never had a chance to go like in the big lakes in Minnesota, but even going to Shootout, Wisconsin and stuff, it's more like panfish or bass, and it's, to me, just I like to have like my 50-foot line and catching a pike or a walleye and having a fight all the way to
You're not a fly fishing guy, are you?
No. I like a good fight. I like to have fun. Yeah.
Like to get the reel and
the fights are the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's
Either you guys ever go deep sea fishing?
I did. Yes.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
Catch anything?
Yeah, I got fortunate. It was my high school year. They took us on a trip. They just got us out of school for 4 days. Said we were going to play hockey, and they took us deep sea fishing on their boat. And they put on we had a shark on the line, but we were mainly catching amberjack. And then they put a swordfish on the line. And it was literally just pass the rod around, everybody get a chance at it. So it was pretty cool.
Swordfish.
Yeah, I went to Long Beach when I played in the IHL days. Captain Ron used to, and Dave Shajiski had. He was a pretty good guy, and they were all older guys, and they brought me along to go fishing on Captain Ron's. So we had fun. We didn't catch anything, and then when we were in Pensacola, an ex-player actually helps us out to do shark fishing, night shark fishing. So
in Pensy,
yeah. So every time we go there a little early, we bring the boys, and now he's assistant coach actually in Pensy, and he has this company that actually you do night shark fishing. It's amazing because he gets in a little canoe and he goes and put the bait really far there on it's from the shore. So it's from the shore, so you have to bring that bait pretty far, and it's awesome. He does it. That's what he does for a living, and the boys just go every year.
You guys actually catch anything?
No, we
up
didn't
there?
catch nothing. Catch beer. That's all we caught.
I'm still reeling from the year Rivermen played a 3-game series up in Alaska in Anchorage, and they tried to take us moose hunting.
Oh yeah,
and the boys were really gung ho about that until the game authority told them that they had to pack it in from the wild as well. That nobody was going to do that for them. And those things are kind of big.
They're big, and you can't talk. That's what we do back home. My dad's that's all he does. He lives for moose hunting. So yeah, you can't talk. You're just standing there for a long time, and and they're big. They're very big animals.
Yeah, they wanted $1,000 for the guide, and to go out and shoot the thing. And I remember the radio guy, old Norm Ulrich, saying, "That's a lot of cigarettes." Like, you can't smoke out there either.
No.
Well, that's kind of cool. At what point did you know I'm going to pursue hockey here as a career? Try to go pro with it. As a little kid, or was it just a spur of the moment decision, or at what point did you think this is the path I'm going to be on?
I think for me, like as a little kid, like I remember like telling teachers when they were always asking that stuff, like my answer was always I want to be an NHL hockey player.
Yeah.
And then even throughout high school and stuff, like I used to get yelled at by our counselors because I wasn't going to apply for a college. Because I was like, hockey players take a different route. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, we got to apply somewhere. I was like, I'm not. I'm sorry. Right now, like, my focus is hockey, and that's where I'm going to stick to. So.
And you did. I mean, you were in the OHL there 2 years, I want to say.
Yes, 2.
Yeah.
And point-of-game guy, yeah.
Point-of-game, yeah. Pretty big. That second season was pretty big. I mean, that's some serious chops.
If you get a point-of-game in the O, you're a good player.
Yeah.
Yes, a very good player.
Yeah. What do you see in him, Coach, in terms of potential? What kind of player could he end up being, and at what level?
I think he's got tons of potential. I think the confidence level is what's hurting him. I think as much as he portrays himself as happy, fun, I think when he gets on the ice, sometimes he doubts himself a little bit when I want him to be the man. And we had a conversation last game. He scored 3 goals. He was on fire that game. And still at the end of the game, like he doesn't want to make a mistake. He wants to make sure the team wins so bad that he doesn't want to stay out too long or make a mistake. And for me, I want to see him want to stay out there. I want to see him want to have the puck. Yeah. And I think that's when, I always say the big players come up in big moments. When the game is on the line, they want to be out there. Like when Gretzky had 6 points, he wanted 7. The last minute, guys want to be on the ice to make that play, and some guys are a little nervous in those areas. And if you're nervous in those areas, unfortunately, it's going to translate throughout the year that you're always going to be a little too nervous. To be that guy, and I want him to be that guy. I want him to understand that he's good enough to play at very high levels. But so I always say when you're a young player, and I was the same way when I started, and we had Mark Reed's my first year.
Right.
I had sometimes I would tell myself some negative things that you have to put out of your head. You just have to be the man and do what you have to do. And he's at that point. I think he lost a lot of confidence last year. And we always talk as hockey players, like we train them so hard physically, but we never work on the brain enough. And that's what I try to, with him, I want him to be the man. I just want him to know how good he can be. When he's not as good is because I think it's just a blockage of maybe putting too much extra pressure or being a little stressed in a situation of not being scared of not performing when I know how good he can be.
When you get into more successful situations too, that just feeds the confidence level.
Correct. And then
guys, and it's going to come with him.
Absolutely. And that's why even like the last minutes, a lot of times I don't put him on because I see sometimes I don't want to get the guy to make the mistakes, but I don't want him to think that way. I want him to think, I want to be the guy on the ice.
I'm going to nail this game down right
now. And that's what I want from Jordan. I think he has it in him. I think when you're a young hockey player, it doesn't matter. Until I always say, until I was 23, 24, I never got that. Because as much as we feel like we're smart in the hockey part, when it comes to life, you need those experiences to get, a little bit more mature, a little bit more confident in yourself. So that's where he's at right now. If we can just keep building that confidence, he's a hard one to stop.
Well, you're going to need Mr. Ernst to produce for you because you lost a pretty good hockey player over the weekend when Darren McCormick, the league's leading points maker, left. He went to France. A bit of a shock.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a shock. It's a third time this year, so it seems like it's happening now regularly.
You got Jake Henderson in Italy.
Yeah, and we have Brodeur in Budapest, Hungary.
And now
in France.
Do we know where he's going, by the way?
It's the worst team in the league. I think they're 2-22. I looked them up. I don't remember the name, but
what level is it?
It's a France one. It's a good league.
Okay.
It's a very good league. It was a shock. Last year and the years before, we lost so many guys to call up, which for me, it makes sense. Guys are getting called up. They want to play at the next level.
Well, you can accept that.
Yeah, I can accept that. And, this one was just, the Europe one is just a shock for me this year because I think I had one in my past 6 years during the year.
I've never seen three guys walk off to Europe and off at our team in the same season. Yeah,
it's been different.
That would happen occasionally in the AHL era when you make a lot of money. When an NHL team was going to release a guy
correct.
He figured he was done. It happened with Jonas Junlund, the defenseman.
And that's normal at that level because you're at very high levels. Yeah. So sometimes, and Europe pays you a lot of money too, and you're not working out with this NHL team, you get a big contract. And I was here too in the AHL.
Sure.
When I came back, they offered me a lot of money to go back. I still stuck with my team for the year and then went in the summer. But at that level, at this level, it's a little bit more.
This is late.
Rare. Yeah, it's a little
December, mid-December is.
I don't even know if it's late. I just think it's
a hard time to lose a guy that way because how do you replace him?
Well, we have this talk, and I have to talk with the players all the time. If he was thinking of doing that, really, he wasn't 100% in anymore. So really, what would we have gotten in the playoffs anyways? If a guy's just thinking of leaving all the time? I always say one of our big things is you want to be in the moment every day. You want to enjoy life. You want to, when I came back to Peoria a lot of times because I want to be happy in my life. I know sometimes you make $100 more there or $100 more, and I can understand. The thing I don't understand is if you're really happy in a position and you're really making a lateral move for the same amount of money, that's what the tough part is. I can understand if you're going up somewhere at a high level and you're making a whole lot more money and it makes a lot of sense. But it is what it is. For me, it comes as a shock when I hear it because it's like the day of. That's my biggest thing. I had a conversation with Alec Agaman this morning, and I'm like, I love that my players move up. I love that my players do what they need to do in life to be happy. The only thing is at least give me a week. If you would have came a week ago, Coach, I'd love to play my last 2 games for you, but after the week, I'm probably going to, there's a good chance I'm leaving. At least it gives me a week to prepare, call other players, trying to find players. And maybe in the past week, there was guys on the waiver wire that I would have liked, but since we were full, I couldn't get. So those things are kind of hard the day of you. And then we play Tuesday morning, so you really don't have that much time to prepare yourself. And you're losing a leading scorer of the league, so of course that's
hard to replace.
Yeah, and I think in Europe that's the hardest thing because you're losing them and you get nothing in return. If a guy gets called up to ECHL, if the guy loved Peoria enough, he's going to come back. If they don't make the playoff, he might come back for the playoff run, or and stuff like that. Now I'm just losing those guys.
When do players? When would a player have to return? By what date?
Before the 31st at midnight, December 31st. If he plays a game out, so he's
I mean,
that's what I'm scared of for him too. Let's say the team doesn't like him 3 weeks later, then he's going to be home in January without a job because he can't come back. So those are all things that you have to put. And again, if he thinks it's a great situation, we're happy for him. As a coach, sometimes it's frustrating because you put so much effort in putting that guy in the right situation to succeed, and as soon as he succeeds, he leaves without giving me a chance to kind of find a replacement. Or that's the only thing that's kind of tough because I'm a big believer of kind of doing it the right way. I feel like I love my players and I try to do it the right way every day. And I understand it's a tough situation both sides. And for us, we just live with it. The next guy that's going to come in is going to do a great job for us. And guys like Ernie and Hags and those guys, I know they're going to step up and do what we need to do. And I think the only difference is maybe games we're going to have to match a little bit more and do what we have to do. But I'm still really happy. I think we have a really good team still, and we'll be fine.
Is there are there players out there right now that are free agents of that caliber that could be gotten?
Not that I know of. I know
Ben Blasco. Is there any chance you could talk him into coming back? Benny, we want to say hello to you today, Ben Blasco.
No,
I think
he's playing senior, and no, I think Benny. I don't know. I not at this time, and. But no, not at this time.
Would you like to put his number out here so fans can call him and encourage him to come in?
No, we miss Benny. I think Benny's a great player, but I love the way he was. He's that quiet quiet assassin that doesn't say much but loves to win, and he's a competitor. So of course we miss him. But no, he's got to do what he's got to do, and for us it's just about finding the next replacement and doing what we have to do for some other guys to step up, and that's a coach's job also to maybe change a few things, put guys in different situations, and see what works.
Who is Jordan going to play with tomorrow?
He's going to go back. I like his line that he was with Nemo and Reichs at the end in Saturday's game, and I thought they moved the puck well. They had a lot of opportunities, and so we're going to keep going with that. And then me, though, it's usually good for...
Well, it rotates pretty quick.
Yeah, plus, I always say... There's some games, too, that you start having to protect guys because they just don't feel the legs. They don't look as fast. They don't look as engaged. So then you change them line to kind of protect him. You don't tell him that. But as a coach, you do a lot of things to try to win that hockey game because every hockey game has its own story. So you can't mimic every game is going to be the same. They're all different. So whatever comes up, and I think that it's not always the best thing that I think, but I'm trying to sometimes put things together to make sure we win that hockey game. And if I have to explain to a player after why I sat you out or why I put you there, then it's easier. It's easier to do after the game. But during the game, as a coach, you just try to do whatever it takes to win that particular game.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a big week. Morning game, 10:30 a.m. game.
6,000
tomorrow morning. 6,000
kids.
Screaming kids, and over and under on the SpongeBob song is about a dozen.
Or the Baby Shark.
Or the Baby Shark.
Baby Shark is going to be quite popular.
Anybody on the team do the Baby Shark?
I think we can all do it.
I think you should. You got to lead those kids in at least once.
I think we should. We might do a little video tomorrow morning.
We'll keep a lookout for that.
All right, perfect.
And of course, Saturday the Stanley Cup is here, and everybody will be able to get a look at that at Carver Arena. Mm-hmm. And in between those 2 days, on Wednesday, we're going to bring cameras and microphones to the team's Christmas party with the Booster Club. And maybe do a little something with ugly sweaters, and
I think that'd be
there
fun.
may be songs, there may be legends made. Mm-hmm. And
so
there
Saturday,
may be big dogs eating.
Big dogs eating Saturday. I think we should make it. We should make the game for the Stanley Cup. I think it'd be cool.
Yep.
Just like Jackie Moon. Hey,
There you go.
Fight a bear. Bring the Stanley Cup
Bring the
over.
Stanley Cup.
I
Let's
think we
go.
should do it. I think we should do it.
All right. You got it. That's going to be it. For my co-host, Jean-Guy Trudel,
A.K.A. Jackie Moon.
and Riverman winger Jordan Ernst, and our impeccable engineer Matt Dayhoff. I'm Dave Eminian. We'll talk to you next week.